everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a magic ring. There are two different methods. There is the chain 2 method and there is the regular magic ring method. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to help you. Some materials you are going to be needing is definitely some yarn. I use Premier Yarn's Parfait Chunky in a size 6 and I use a 5mm clover hook with this. I do recommend you start with some acrylic yarn just to learn, because with your magic ring, especially this method, pulling it closed can worm and it can be a little difficult for a beginner to see the stitches. So I definitely do recommend that. I hope this tutorial helps you guys, and let's start with the chain 2 method. So I'm going to start with the easier type of magic ring, which is called the chain 2 method. I personally don't really use the chain 2 method very often, but it's great for beginners, and especially if you can't figure out a magic ring with plus yarn, because it is kind of difficult to master. So we're going to start with the chain 2 method. So how I like to start my slip knot is basically like a magic ring. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn tail and you're going to place it in your hand. I always do my magic ring through 2 fingers. You can do 3, but I just do 2. So you're going to take your yarn tail, pinch it, flip your hand up, and you're going to make an X, just like that. So simple as that. You have your little yarn tail. So you do want to figure out the best way to hold it. This is how I hold it. So definitely you want to practice that. Then to get your slip knot, you're just going to go underneath the first little loop here, and you're going to pull up a loop. And as you pull up a loop, you're going to twist. So I'll do that one more time. You're going to go underneath the first loop, then you're going to pull up a loop and twist. You see that? And if you guys ever need the videos to slow down a little bit, you can click the settings and you can slow down the speed time, which will really help a lot of you. That's how I learned. So I'll do that one more time. You're going to go underneath right here, pull up a loop, and your hook right now is backwards. You see that? So you're literally going to pull up a loop and you're going to twist. So then you're going to take your working yarn, which is this yarn tail right here. You're just going to grab that, chain 1 to secure. And then this is actually a magic ring if you just use this, but how I just do my slip knots is I just do that. There's a ton of other tutorials on slip knots that could be a lot easier for you guys, but just because I know the magic ring, this way is so much easier for me. So then what you're going to do is you are going to chain 2. So you can yarn under, yarn over, however you like to do that. There will be a video later explaining the differences between that, but for now let's focus on our magic rings. So you're going to chain 2, so you're just going to go 1 and then 2. So a lot of people, to help them find the chains, because once you're starting to crochet, it can be kind of difficult to figure out what is a chain, what is not, you know, where you're starting. But basically you're starting in the second chain from your hook. So this is your first chain and then this is your second chain. It can be easier to kind of feel them. You can definitely feel the stitches in here. So with your stitch marker, you can kind of place that into the chain 2, so then you can kind of keep track of where you are, because it can be difficult for a beginner. So basically what you're going to do then is you're going to place, we're going to say 6 single crochet into this magic ring. So magic rings can start with 4, they can start with 6, they can start with 8, you know, pretty much whatever number. It just depends on the pattern, or if you're freestyling, you know, how you want it to look. So we're just going to do 6 single crochet. That's, I would say, the most common. You are going to place 6 single crochets into this second chain. So to do a single crochet, I'll explain it a couple times, but once again, I will have a tutorial later more in depth on single crochets and different kind of stitches. So you want to insert your hook right where your stitch marker is, and you're going to pull up a loop. You can yarn under or yarn over, whatever you're comfortable with. I yarn under. Okay, and you're going to pull through, and now you have 2 loops on your hook. So then you're going to yarn over and pull through both of them. So that is your first single crochet. I'm going to explain it one more time for you guys. So you are going to insert your hook right where that stitch marker is in that second chain. You're gonna yarn under, pull up a loop, and then you're gonna yarn over and pull through 2. And basically you are going to do this until you get to 6. So this is number 3. This is number 4. This is 5. And this is number 6. So now you have your magic ring 6 with the chain 2 method. You can take your stitch marker out because you don't really need to know where that second chain is anymore. And if you were going to start building a plushie past this point, you'd be going into the next stitch here, pulling up a loop, yarn over and drawing 2. And then there's the start of your round right here for your next round. So that is the chain 2 method. Okay, so here is, I would say, definitely the more difficult of the two. This is my preferred way to do a magic ring, but if my yarn's being difficult or I just physically can't get it, I will do the chain 2 method like I showed earlier. You are going to take your yarn tail, you're going to pinch it with your thumb so you can keep that in place, and you're going to flip your hand up and you're going to make that X. I'll do it one more time for you guys. Pinch your yarn, and as I twist my hand up, I just kind of let it go towards the front, and then you're gonna cross it over to the back. So basically this is what the top looks like, and this is what the bottom looks like. You know, so you're pinching your yarn and you're holding this, and then you have your X. All right, so to start your magic ring, you want to go underneath this first part of the X here, and you are going to grab your working yarn. So now you kind of grabbed it. And if you look, you know, your crochet hook is technically backwards, but you did grab it. So now you're just gonna twist your crochet hook. You are literally just gonna twist it. So if you watch my hands, you're just literally gonna twist it. And that causes like a little X also here. And you're gonna yarn over and you're gonna chain 1. So that is what secures your magic ring, and I would say that is definitely the most important part. I'm going to show you guys one more time. You're going to go underneath the first part of your little X here. You're going to grab this back one, you're going to pull it up, and you're literally going to twist. So you're just twisting it. A little twist, and you're going to grab your working yarn, and you're just going to chain 1. So that is your magic ring. I would say that is definitely a difficult thing to learn. So if you do have to rewatch it multiple times. Now inside of that magic ring, so like the chain 2, you are doing all of your single crochets into the second chain. So now this time we are going to be doing all of our single crochets into this ring. So you're going to insert your hook into the ring. So here's your ring. You're going to insert it into your ring. You're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So once again, I'll show you. I kind of like to hold my working yarn, you know, mainly with my pointer, and then I'll hold open the magic ring with my thumb. That's always been a little easier for me. So you're going to insert your hook into the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And then once again, insert into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 3 single crochets, and I'm going to do that really quickly 3 more times, so then we get a total of 6 single crochets. So you can probably kind of see them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And basically with plush yarn, it is kind of hard to sometimes get the magic ring to close. I struggle with it still. There is a couple different ways to get your magic ring to close. I personally, if I just pinch my nail right here and pull, I can usually get it to close. And I try to do my single crochets a little looser in the magic ring just to help it give it a little more wiggle room. If you wanted to continue this, you would just literally go into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so I am going to fasten this off to show you guys the main differences here with the 2 magic rings. With the 2 magic rings, this is our chain 2 method, and this is our magic ring. The chain 2 method is definitely amazing for beginners, and I do know some crocheters who actually exclusively use the chain 2 method because they personally just don't like the magic ring. The magic ring does take a lot to get used to. It's definitely a lot of weird hand movements, but I think in the end it's definitely worth it. And if you can't get it, you know, use the chain 2 method for a little bit, and then you can switch over to the magic ring once you kind of figure that out. Once again, I do recommend you start with acrylic with your magic rings. It will be a lot easier for you to learn, and you won't have to deal with the plush yarn warming or anything like that. I really hope this tutorial helped, and if you guys have any questions, please comment down below and let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you guys, and I hope you guys are really liking these tutorials, and I'll have some more out soon. Have a great day. Happy crocheting!